Today marks the 60th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s March on Washington. Thousands are in D.C. to commemorate the historic event.
Over the weekend, civil rights leaders, lawmakers, and allies spoke at the National Mall about how the U.S. is yet to fulfill Dr. King's dream. They called for protections on voting rights, reproductive rights, and an end to gun violence and discrimination. All of Dr. King's children will be meeting with President Biden and Vice President Harris later today. We're looking at how much has changed since Dr. King's historic I Have a Dream speech, and Dr. Vicki Crawford is the director of Morehouse College's MLK collection, which holds the original handwritten copy of that speech. Good morning. Thanks for being with us.
Yes, and thank you for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. You know, it's astounding that you have a handwritten copy of that speech, but there's much more to it than just the portion we're all familiar with, correct?
That's correct. We have the original speech. Dr. King had a prepared text, and the title of that speech was Normalcy Never Again. So we have a copy of that, and there are some changes between that prepared text and what Dr. King actually delivered. He had his prepared text before him, but he went off text about 10 minutes into the speech. And of course, we often hear about the dream section of the speech, but the speech is so robust, and there's so much more there in the first 10 minutes of it.
Right. Most of us are familiar with the I Have a Dream portion of the speech, but perhaps highlight some of the lesser known parts that are worth revisiting.
Yes. Actually, at the beginning of the speech, of course, the March on Washington was planned to commemorate the centennial of the Emancipation Proclamation. So King starts out by giving us a history lesson, essentially, and speaking about, how far we've come, how far we have to go in the early parts of that speech. And he talks about, segregation. He uses this wonderful metaphor of cashing a check. And he uses this metaphor to say, we've come here today to cash a check. And we hope that we can rely on the fact that the bank will not tell us we have insufficient funds. So he uses that metaphor to talk about this period of time, 100 years away from Emancipation Proclamation, to make the point that African Americans still have not acquired the freedom and all of the guarantees of the foundational documents. So the early part of that speech highlights a lot of history very succinctly and very beautifully. It sketches out that history and calls upon the listener to sort of go through this history and think about, what is it that we're asking for here as African Americans?
So Dr. Crawford, 60 years later, how do you think Dr. King would respond to how things have evolved since then?
Well, certainly there have been some successes, but certainly on the other hand, as we all know, we're faced with so many challenges. Dr. King talked about what he called the triple evils of racism, poverty, and war. We're still facing those triple evils. We see this weekend, we've had a racial incident in Jacksonville, Florida. I mean, we can just recount all these various incidents around the country. So we're still dealing with systemic injustices in this country and around the world. Dr. King also made a point that, these are American problems, and they're also problems that appear all around the world, around the globe.
Well, Dr. Vicki Crawford, we appreciate you joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for being with us.